In today's video, we're going to look at closed practices and we're going to look at why they're not very effective. And it's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to share with you a video of myself doing a demonstration, running a closed practice, and I'm going to stop it at certain points. I'm going to highlight to you faults within the coaching, faults within my style of coaching at this moment in time, and faults within the practice design itself. As always, welcome to mytenniscoaching.com. And yes, we talk a lot about ecological dynamics, constraint-led coaching, why isolated practice is not very efficient and effective for skill development. And yeah, this video is going to be quite interesting. And what I'd like to do today in this video is just highlight why demonstrations generally are not very effective, especially within a group environment, and why closed practices, generally speaking, are not very efficient and effective for player development. So let me just set the scene for you. We are here within the club. The audio isn't great because it's inside a dome or a bubble. I do have a microphone on, but the echo around the room is quite bad. And I have quite a loud booming voice as well. So I do apologize for the audio. And all I want to look at first of all in this demonstration, look at the words I use. Look at how I show and tell them what to do. And there's a few interesting bits that are going to come out, especially in and around how I communicate my message. So straight away, I've got into what I noticed. I seen this, I observed this. I've not asked the player any opinion whatsoever, or the players any opinions whatsoever. I've gone straight into judgment. This is what I've noticed. I've also dismissed any success the players had. And I've gone straight away into, I've noticed you weren't going into the backhand corner enough. You kept going into the forehand corner. You kept going down the middle. So it's straight away in a judgment environment. I'm the expert. I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you what to do. No player input, no player feedback. Straight away, this is what I noticed. I'm going to improve your tennis. Very ego-centered by me. Demo's done, and it wasn't very good. I mentioned in the last little intervention that it was all about me. I was telling the players what I observed, what I noticed, my judgment on the players. I've not asked for any feedback from the players whatsoever. I've not asked their opinion and how they feel. I've then made the decision of this is what we're going to work on. So there's no co-creation there whatsoever. I've made a decision of where the error is, where we need to improve it, how we're going to improve it. I then proceed to show them how I would play in that position. If you listen to the words that I use, it's all about how I do it. I get my backside out the way. I get myself around the ball. I open up the angle of my hips and shoulders. I push it into that backhand corner. Great for me, because that's how I would probably play in that position. I'd probably play that shot. But the players standing at the side, they may not play that way. Some players may decide to go inside in. They may go back into the forehand corner, back in behind their opponent, might go right down the middle. Some of them may play a drop shot. I've just, again, gone into the data bank of solutions. Okay, this is what I notice happening. I'm just going to pick that one off the shelf. We're going to put that in. We're going to work on that. What a great tennis coach I am. So let me give myself some credit here. At least I'm trying to, one, reduce the number of players. So in this exercise, we're going to have 3 players. 2 players down the far end, 1 player down this end, the near side with myself. At least with the player down the near side, so in case you didn't catch it, the player has to move across, touch the ball and catch it. That at least gives some idea from the player on the far side practicing the skill if their shot is efficient or effective. If they can catch it, probably not efficient or effective. If they catch it inside the yellow lines, to the right of those yellow lines on the screen, it's probably not effective. That's at least a lot better than me just feeding the player hitting into an open empty court. So at least I'm trying to bring in a little bit of ecological dynamics in here by giving the environment a bit more of a feel of what it's going to look like in a match. And that's one of my biggest bugbears with basket feeding in general. A lot of the time, the coach will feed the ball and the player's hitting the ball into an open court. We have no information whether or not we are efficient or effective. But also, the player being in position, and I'll touch upon this a bit later on, but like everything affects the player's decision making. The perception, the environment that we're in will have a huge influence on the decision and the shot we play.
So when you're on that side, we'll swap sides for you. Yeah? But if you can finish that off, you can do right. Okay, ready? So Daniel's going to move in. Hit that ball. I'm just going to see the effect here. Alright, well done, that's good.
So again, positive here. Like, at least I'm feeding from a tactically correct position. So the situation's been set up where the players are locked in a cross-court battle. They're rallying cross-court to each other from the baseline. The player, our side, near side, gives away a short ball. So at least I'm feeding from next to the player. I'm not feeding way out past the tram lines like a lot of tennis coaches would, or they'll feed a little bit closer in to get a more accurate feed. So there is an element there of perception and action from the far side. So at least the player is reading the ball from the right court situation.
Get your body in and around the ball then. Here we go, focus in. Get round it. That's okay, try it. And now I'm teaching you. Watch that ball first, right? Okay, let's get our body around this ball then. You ready? There we go. Get around it. Right after it, go again. Let's do one more, I'll change over to Kelly. Just now by getting your foot just on the inside of the line. There we go, don't make it too difficult.
So again, a little bit of a positive here. At least the players are in a tactically correct position. They're both slightly off center. So it does look and feel like a game situation that the players would find themselves in a match. But a couple of drawbacks here, and you'll see it as the video rolls on, I'm sure, that, okay, of course the player's going to improve because they're in such a sterile environment. There's nothing really unpredictable. After 2 or 3 goes, the player gets a sense of, okay, how the ball's going to come to them, where they need to be in relation of the ball to achieve the success. And this is great, but we've isolated potentially 1 shot out of about 600 here in a game, in a match. And yes, if this situation happens, the 2 players are in that position. If the ball comes the way I'm feeding it, the player down the far side will have some competency, some skill to play that shot. But this might not even happen in a match. This might not happen at all in a match. And we're just practicing this 1 shot. And we can see it from the player's movement. It starts to become a lot more unnatural. So one thing I'll draw your lens to now is the players down the far side, on their 3rd, 4th, 5th go, look at when they start to move. Look at how they move and look how manufactured it will become. And I've not watched this back in a long time, but I guarantee I can almost see it now happening straight away anyway. It's starting to become very manufactured. They're moving in a very set pattern.
Go around the ball, go around it. Okay, on the next go, just try and do something a little bit closer. You get it around it really well. You get it closer. Come on, let's go, Kel. Okay, ready? There we go, feed it in. Oh, look at that one, he had no chance. Great shot, Kelly. Kelly, you get firing now, give it a shot. There you go, ball comes in, get around it, take it early. Oh, he didn't hit enough. Okay, ready? Get him around it. Oh!
So my question here would be, well, why does this player need to work on this? He's obviously very competent and very skilled of playing that shot. Does she need to improve? Like, she's just nailed 3 in a row. Like, to me, that's not a player who is struggling. Maybe it's a case of she just didn't see that opportunity. In a real life set situation, maybe if I just said to that player, have you tried going into the backhand corner to try and find success? Maybe if I just guided her towards hitting that shot, I wouldn't have to waste time isolating the drill and doing a demonstration and spending 10-15 minutes working on something that the player can already do. She can already do it. She's not improving anything here. And I can see why, and I know why, basket drilling is quite popular with players and coaches, because look, the player's getting lots of success. The player is getting lots of repetition. They're improving a skill in isolation. They will definitely improve it because it's so predictable. They know what's coming. The body will adjust. The mind will adjust. After 2 or 3 goes, they'll start to get success. But it's all fake. It's too sterile. It's too isolated. When the player goes back into the open situation, it's a different game. It's a different set of skills. So my question here is, I probably don't think this player needs to do this because she is obviously already skilled. She's nailed 3 out of 3.
Kelly, what are you doing? Let's go one more. Yeah, so good. Okay, let's change it over. Switch it over. So how goes? So Daniel, if you come on this end, stand at that end. Rotate this way. Okay.
So I'm just going to pause it there. The feedback I gave the player at the end is, again, what I noticed. I didn't ask her for her opinion. And okay, what did you notice? What did you feel? What did you see in that situation that made you successful? It's all about my opinion. It's so coach-led, this session. And it makes me feel uncomfortable watching it back because it's all about me and my opinion. And it's not a great way to coach.
Now, to throw a spanner in the works, stand actually left handed. When we stand over here, maybe round a little bit. Now you need to back in. Yeah, so you just touch it and catch it if you can. Right, ready, Kel? Push to you. Okay, well done, yes. Couldn't catch it. It's effective enough, Kel. I love it. Pretty good battle, but you know. Okay, ready, done? There we go. See that mid ball in. Nice and close.
So I just noticed there, the player on my side, they're actually starting too far towards the centre. And you may think, well, what's the issue with that? Well, the issue is the player down the far side, they've got other options now. Because the player on my side's cheated their position and gone to the left, the player down the far side might go back in behind. So you see straight away here that players in this situation, they're starting to cheat their positions. Because it's so predictable, because they know where the ball's going to go and how it's going to look, the player on my side's edging to the left because he wants to get a head start. He wants to catch the ball. So he's starting to cheat his position. So now the player on the far side, that shot into the backhand corner might not be the right option. But because we've set out on this journey of doing this drill, we're going to carry on. No matter what happens, we're just going to carry on regardless. And again, it's not very adaptable coaching here by me.
Love it. Do one more, Cal. Alright, let's go.
And you can see at that point there, like, I tell him to come close to me. He pretends to move close. He doesn't really move that much. And then he moves so quick to get the ball anyway. By isolating this exercise, I've taken away the opportunity for the player down the far end to go back in behind. The player is not being forced to read the environment. They're not being forced to make decisions, solve problems. I've solved all the problems. I've given them a ready-made solution. And within a few minutes, you could see that the players are adapting to try and get success anyway. Therefore, we're now neglecting. We're now stopping and making potentially better decisions. And this is one of the real drawbacks of basket drilling or isolated practice. We're actually taking away options. We're taking away decisions.
And then we're just going to move the lines across that, okay? So because Sam's left-handed, he may actually go inside into the backhand. So he may go onto the other side. So he may go around and go down the line here.
And this is an issue as well for me. I'm just listening to myself talk, and this is quite tough actually. Okay, so I'm going to feed the ball in to a left-hander, and I'm saying to him, okay, well, he might go inside in. He might go back in behind the player. I'm taking away the opportunity for him to go down the line. So again, the words that I'm using, I'm pushing him down a certain direction, a certain route. I'm now looking at my feeding position. I'm hoping that I change my feeding position here.
You ready? So imagine I'm trying to take my position.
Oh, okay, thank God for that. So again, I've told him where to go. And then in this situation, he may actually feel more comfortable going back inside out and going into the other corner, into the space. But I've told him that he's going to go back inside in. I've given him a solution without even asking him.
Ready? Here we go. Focus in, get round it. Find that backhand. Okay, now.
And what happens like magic, the player on my side completely cheats their position because he knows where it's going to go. And that movement, that perception is going to put the player off down the far end. Because they are still taking in information. He's watching the ball. He's watching the opponent. He's probably seen the opponent go to the left. And that might have caused him there to lift his head up. But I guarantee the feedback I'm about to give won't be on that. It's going to be on some type of technique or tactical decision.
So you're not allowed to move until you touch the ball. Nice try, though, Dan. I like it. Here we go. Keep the ball in. Oh, sorry. I just testing the watching there, Sam. Okay, here we go. Slide to the back side. You get around it. Inside in, down the line. Oh.
Yeah, it's just not a good shot, right? It's just a poor decision by me. But again, I'm feeling the pressure a little bit. I don't want to completely change it. I want almost have the same, this players working all in the same way. This is not good for the left-hander. I'm actually letting the left-hander down here. So there you have it. I think there's lots to unpack in that video. And it's quite tough for me to watch that video back from a ecological dynamics constraint-led approach. But you see that type of coaching in every tennis club, every tennis centre around the world. Isolate the practice, basket feed the skill. And to be honest, there's a couple of good elements in there. That the feeding position, the player's position in general, at least it looked and felt a bit like tennis rather than hitting into the open court or the feed coming from a weird angle. So there's some good elements in there. There's a little bit of elements, okay, they are getting a fair bit of repetition, but the drawbacks are huge. Like, everything's about me as a coach. I'm making all the decisions. I'm telling the players what to do, how to do it, when to do it. That started with a demonstration. I'm restricting the variability, and variability is a tough one because sometimes with players, if there's too many options, it's just a bit overwhelmed. So sometimes you do have to reduce variability, and you maybe give them a couple of options. But I've gave them no option here. This is a shot you're going to play. And going back to the left-hander there at the end, I'm giving him a shot that's not very effective. And you can see within the practice itself, the players start to have mechanical movement. They start to cheat their position, like the guy at the end. He starts to cheat his position because he knows what's coming. It's predictable. And we know from tennis that it's unpredictable. There's no way to know what's actually going to happen when the opponent hits the ball. We don't know. And in that situation, you can see why coaches, players, parents like basket drilling, because you get loads of success really quick. And a common pushback from tennis coaches with me on this is, well, I'm building confidence. I'm building confidence within players. If they practice it enough and they do it and they get loads of success, they grow in confidence. But it's false. It's fake confidence, because I guarantee you when the player gets into a match situation and they miss a couple of those shots, that false confidence is going to evaporate pretty quick. Wouldn't it be best if players developed multiple skills all at the same time and had versatility and adaptability? Wouldn't that make them grow in confidence if they felt they could adapt to anything they're given? Not just, if I get that ball, I can hit that one shot. Be interested what you think in the comments down below. What positives do you see within isolated or closed practice? Did you notice any negatives that I've not maybe highlighted in the video? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, check out the video on the screen now, and I'll see you soon.